So once again, covering chapter 65, we need to talk about a major problem that kind of popped up in this chapter, and that was Naruto at the end of the chapter when Borushiki was attacking him with the Rasengan. And I see a lot of people have issues with this whole scene and might have maybe interpreted it a little bit wrong, but if you actually look at the scene, you go back in a couple of the panels, it seems like Naruto's not actually nerfed all the way, and that he's not actually trying to attack Borushiki in general, or is just not really trying to do anything because of the circumstances that he's in right now. So to kind of give a recap of the situation is Code currently has Shikamaru captive, and Code is telling Naruto that, hey, I will finish him off if you move or anything like that. And a little bit of the conversation after that was, hey, Borushiki, go ahead and finish off Naruto if you want to. It's really not going to bother me anyway because he's kind of getting on my nerves as well. So when this manga first came out, a lot of people were saying that, hey, Naruto's a little bit weak. Hey, why didn't Naruto block that Rasengan? But if we continue reading a little bit into the chapter, you'll see that a little bit before the Rasengan was actually made by Borushiki, there was this panel to where Ko was saying, hey, Naruto, don't move. And he was pretty much forced to defend himself for Shikamaru's sake. And a little bit before that Rasengan was produced, Naruto had already put his hands up in a defense position, getting ready to prepare for what would come. So, just right there, now looking at it, we really don't know how strong Naruto really is after the nerf still, I feel like. Because I feel like even though Naruto wasn't moving out of fear of Shikamaru dying or out of fear of, hurting or injuring his son, I think Naruto would have tanked that Rasengan quite well because he does have the stage 1 active, and we gotta talk about how Naruto's base is pretty strong in itself, and Naruto can tank that Rasengan with no problem. Naruto has tanked worse stuff, right? With Kurama, but still Naruto's kind of durable, and Naruto has the stage 1 active, and it doesn't seem like that's something that Naruto just can't tank. But if you look at the scene again, you'll see that Naruto is not moving because it's more of a fear thing. And even with Kurama, how would Naruto be able to handle this situation, right? And perhaps if he had a little bit more speed, he would be able to get a Shikamaru out of Kode's grasp. But if we think about that, maybe Shikamaru gets killed before Naruto even has a chance to get there, and Kode reacts fast enough, and Borushiki ends up hurting Kawaki a little bit more. There's a lot of situations to where this can go left or right, and it's very tricky. You can have all the power in the world, but you got your right hand man about to be killed, and the person holding him is not someone who's weak. He's pretty strong, and you might not have enough time to save him while you're being attacked at the same time. So it is a pretty tricky situation, Kurama or not. So I can't really say that Kurama nerf would have really affected this scene any more than it did already, and that no Kurama or not, Naruto would have had a hard time trying to figure out what to do here. So it's pretty much a combination of that whole Code yelling out, don't move Hokage, do you want Shikamaru to die, and the whole fact that Naruto doesn't really want to hurt his son like that because of the circumstances with that, where he might have to put down his son in order to protect the village and everything like that. So those two in conjunction with each other makes this situation a lot more trickier and makes the situation for Naruto not as black and white as it may seem. Now, in terms of what Naruto's gonna be able to do this next chapter, now that Kawaki has awakened the karma, this might be a little bit more of an even playing field, and maybe Naruto can sort of figure out how to actually rescue Shikamaru, because at this current point in time, it looks like Shikamaru could possibly end up dying if Ko pulls the trigger and ends up, getting rid of him. Because right now Shikamaru is in a very dangerous position to where Code, if he sees one wrong thing that Naruto does, then he'll go ahead and finish him off. Or maybe Code's like, hey, Kawaki, if you do anything, I'll do the same thing to Shikamaru and go ahead and finish him off here. So it's a very sticky situation, and for Shikamaru's position, if Shikamaru is gonna get out of this alive, I think the only viable option for Shikamaru is that Sasuke comes into the picture and helps out, because we need an element of surprise to actually save Shikamaru. Shikamaru has no hopes of living right now with the current people on the battlefield, right? We got Borushiki, who is currently on Code's side for just right now to kind of get rid of Naruto, and then he'll kind of just work in self-interest later on. We got Code, who is with Shikamaru right now. We got Naruto, who can't really move or do too much because the fear of Shikamaru dying, and we got Kawaki now that has the karma. So it really comes down to what demands that Ko's gonna keep pushing out for Shikamaru, and if he's really serious about killing Shikamaru right here and now. So I think they just really have to be careful in that aspect. And like I said before, an element of surprise like Sasuke coming out of somewhere and saving Shikamaru is like one of the only ways that I can see this actually being done. I think that's kind of why they save Sasuke for a little bit, just for that fact that, hey, we might need somebody to come in and save Shikamaru, and Sasuke still has entered the battlefield yet and can come in and save Shikamaru that way. Now after that, you know, we gotta talk about, hey, nerf Naruto, nerf Sasuke. You know, again, going to his code and Borushiki, and you know, it's very possible that Naruto and maybe even Sasuke, depending on when he gets there, but you know, Naruto and with this new Kawaki could actually go up against Code and Borushiki. And you know, kind of thinking about it, you know, I'm still on the side that, you know, Naruto and Sasuke are two of the strongest ninja in the world, and that Naruto would be able to handle his weight with this fight. I think he'll be able to handle Code quite fine. I mean, Borushiki was giving Code a run for his money after Momoshiki took over Boruto, right? And the thing with Code is that Code cannot absorb ninjutsu, so this is actually the perfect time for Naruto to kind of, you know, show off his abilities without Kurama and being able to do different jutsus and whatever, because in these fights with these Otsutskis and these new car enemies, we don't get to see Naruto or Sasuke use a lot of jutsus, right? I mean, think about the Ishiki fight. I can count on one hand the amount of jutsus that Naruto and Sasuke used, right? They didn't really use that much, correct? So, you know, with Code not actually being able to use jutsus, even if Naruto is nerfed, that still gives him a slight edge in the fight, knowing that, hey, if I throw this Rasengan at Code, he might not possibly be able to even absorb it, thus allow me to kind of throw out some more attacks and whatnot. So I do like the fact that Code cannot absorb jutsus, because it puts the battle in a whole nother perspective, in that if, for right now, let's say Naruto and Kawaki have to go up against Code and Borushiki, then hey, Naruto will not be held back by that fact. Unless Borushiki steps in and starts absorbing chakra, that could be an issue, but I think just for right now, if we're looking at a pure Naruto versus Code fight, then Naruto would be able to overpower him with large jutsus like Borushiki was almost able to. And we got to talk about Naruto as being one of the best battle strategists in the whole entire series, and he's the Hokage for a reason, so I'm not really doubting his ability to fight even without Kurama. And you know, even though he might have got like a little slight nerf or whatever, he's still probably gonna, you know, give Code the hands before Code's limiters come off. Now when Code's limiters get taken off, that is a complete different question, and I don't know if Naruto's making out of it alive, to be honest with you, but hey, for right now, it seems like Naruto will be able to handle his own for this fight, and that he'll be quite fine for this little story arc. But yeah, kind of interesting there. I had to definitely go back and read the chapter to kind of re-examine that scene, and yeah, it does seem like Naruto wasn't even, you know, attacking. He was just putting his hands up, you know, just out of the fact that he didn't want to risk Shikamaru's life and was kind of at a standstill for what to do. So we definitely do need Sasuke to come into the picture and help out Naruto a little bit, and we should expect him to come in kind of soon here. I'm sure Sasuke has already detected that something's going on here. He can't just like Renegon over here like he usually can, so definitely expecting Sasuke to pop out the woodworks and help out with the whole hostage situation. That way Naruto can go all out, and we can actually see what Naruto with his Sage mode without Kurama can actually do, and we can finally figure out, hey, is Naruto really nerfed, is he weak, whatnot, and kind of just answer a lot of questions that people have been having since Naruto lost Kurama during the Shiki fight. So yeah, anyways, let me know what you guys think about it. Do you guys think that Naruto without Kurama will be that weak when he finally faces off against Code? And what do you think about the whole situation to where Naruto is sort of stuck in this standstill and can't really attack anybody because fear of Shikamaru dying and fear of hurting his son? Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and join the Discord, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Say, so, say, so.